All right, everyone, welcome to day 19. We have gotten our first client just 19 days after starting from kind of my version of zero. It's hard to say actually zero because I have experience and I've kind of done this a little bit once before, but this client that we got today is not in the industry we were targeting whatsoever. But this was just somebody who saw the YouTube, and these videos aren't doing numbers. This person has not been a long-time subscriber of my channel. In fact, when I talked to him on our call, he was like, "Oh, I just stay up late watching YouTube, and your video came up, and I clicked on it and just watched it, and I was like, oh, I need that." And I guess the easy takeaway from that is literally just how life works. The formula there is nothing other than taking your best shots within reason and being incredibly consistent. Now, had I gone with my original goal on day one and given up on day 5, because day one, if you go watch day one, I only committed to 5 days of daily uploads. And it took, I think it was day 16 or day 17, pretty late at night when this guy emailed me. Finally closed the deal, got paid today. I don't want to go into too much detail about what it's about, but it's basically a website for a home services company. That's as much as I'm going to say about it. So going forward, so yesterday, 2 days ago, I committed to getting my first client by day 30. We've officially done that day 19. It was, I don't want to say exactly how much it was, but it was enough money where we are no longer in a state of extreme survival. So do with that as you will. So I do want to keep this series running because I think it's actually been insanely nice for me. I kind of love the idea of starting from a version of zero and just documenting the entire way up. And what this has also done is kind of reaffirmed in my mind, okay, not only have I gotten lucky, because some people can argue that I'm lucky. I originally came up off 3D, off basically DMing the right person at the right time. It was a game of luck, but I also wouldn't have hit the luck that I hit had I not DM'd 500 other people. So this is an example of this happening again. It was right place, right time. These videos aren't doing numbers. I'm not making these videos to be entertaining or to sell a course or anything else like that. There's no immediate gain in this for me. I've made 19 videos now. I've probably made $30 off of the ad revenue. It's nothing crazy. But kind of like I've always preached on this channel, even back in the 3D days, it's always been a numbers game combined with doing your best and making quality shots. So I'm super excited to knock this project out of the park for this guy. And we're not hitting the brakes anytime soon. I'm realizing now, I made this certain amount of money and I can make a lot more. I mean, if we can go from effectively zero to a solid payment in literally 18 or 19 days, who knows what's going to happen by day 30, by day 50, by day 100. I don't know if I'm going to keep the videos running that long, but yeah, the takeaway I'd give you guys from this is just absurd consistency, absurd volume. And I'm just kind of realizing, when people talk about consistency, I know this is an insanely cliche kind of spiel to go on, but when people talk about consistency, this is what they mean. It's I wasn't going into this with the expectation that these videos were going to do well at all. In fact, my normal videos back when I did 3D literally used to get 10, 20, 30,000 views, up to 100,000. They averaged pretty high. These videos are getting 400 to 700 average. People, this content does not appeal to the masses, and yet it took only 17 days for me of consistent daily uploading. Not a lot of people are doing long form uploading or long form YouTube every single day, because it's, it kind of takes a while and you have to get comfortable talking to the camera, which I wasn't comfortable with when I first started, and I've kind of grown into that and I'm comfortable now. It's this is kind of the most surreal, crazy lesson, and wow, I've done it before and now I'm doing it again. So I'm kind of able to roll this confidence into the next chapter and say, I've literally done this twice. And if I can do it twice, I can do it as many more times as needed. But this time we're gonna really take the momentum and just ramp it up to 1 million. So if you're the client who saw me on YouTube and emailed me and paid me today, thank you. I look forward to crushing it on the project we have. And to everybody else, I'm gonna just keep these videos ripping every single day. We're going to document as much of this as we can, as transparently as we can. I'm not going to document this guy's project, nor will I document the actual projects that I do for people. But the kind of business / outreach side of it is kind of what I'm focusing on in this. So that's day 19. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it would come this quickly. This just gives me the perfect boost of motivation to go extra hard this time. So not to like position myself like a master businessman. I know I always use that phrase, but like you really don't believe it's possible until you do it. And then you realize how simple and easy it is if you don't self-sabotage. Like the actual like motions of what I'm doing are not hard. If you go look at the videos in the last 19 days, you'll see that they're kind of, objectively basic things that I'm struggling with. But I've learned so much along the way. It took me until day 5 to even figure out what I was doing or like what niche I was gonna go into. And then here we are in day 17 when I got that email where it's a fully separate niche, and I'm like, oh, I'm still gonna kind of commit to the original one because I just built a bunch of things around it. But you have to be, you have to move light on your feet, and you kind of just have to understand that whatever's gonna happen is just gonna happen. So if you've been trying something for a while, I think my number one thing is to actually audit what you're doing. And if you're trying to make money doing anything, you have to make sure that the effort you're putting in is actually effort in ways that matter. There are so many ways to make yourself feel like you're doing something and make yourself feel like you're almost there. But there's very few actions you can actually take. Things like the super uncomfortable outreach, or like in my case, putting these videos up online with, minimal editing, minimal preparation. There's very little that actually makes sense to do. And it's usually not a matter of thinking about it and coming up with a plan. It's just about doing the thing that deep down you're putting off. So I kind of learned this the hard way. After the kind of prior ventures I was on, I sort of developed a superiority complex where I started feeling like I was too good for certain things. And looking back on it, that absolutely contributed to my downfall in a way. But I've basically gone through all of the motions that I've needed to go through in the past 7 months. And every bit of the struggle and discomfort I felt was completely necessary and part of my process and part of what needed to happen to me in order to flip that switch and grow. And so if you've been in a state where you feel like, you've been grinding or trying to do something for like 6 months plus and you're seeing no progress from it, like you need to make sure that what you're doing is not only actually like the best thing you can be doing, because it's probably not. And that's what it was like in my case. I'm climbing the stairs now, but I was thinking of ways to articulate this. And it's basically, if I gave you 30 days to make a certain amount of money, how would you move differently than you are right now? Because if you're sitting there with a 30-day limit on time, you're gonna make a lot of different choices. And the problem is, if you don't actually have a real sense of urgency, you're gonna put off everything that's hard, everything that's uncomfortable. And that's just how it was for me for a while. So until you can kind of snap out of that, you're gonna kind of just waste energy and not actually live life and do anything important with your life and just kind of struggle. So making that reframe was a big thing for me. And I think by putting these videos out there in public kind of gave me a sense of accountability where I'm like, all right, I can't let the 2 people who watch me on YouTube see me like wasting time like this. I also got so used to being in this very static state where I almost needed to burn it all down in order to build it up again. So I had a good amount of money to my name. I was basically coasting off of that and paying rent and buying groceries and going out and eating at restaurants and everything. And then it just was dwindling down. And I probably could have been in that state forever. But then one day I started kind of counting and making some estimates and doing a little bit of actual bookkeeping. And I realized, damn, if I don't make money pretty soon here, I'm gonna either have to get a normal job or like serve at a restaurant or something, or I'm gonna have to pull money out of my investments, which I didn't want to do because Ethereum hit all-time high today. And weirdly, that entire time I was stacking knowledge. It's not like I wasn't trying new things or learning or making myself like more competent or capable, but you can learn and study theory forever, but unless you're actually doing something that's hard and kind of out of your comfort zone, then you're in kind of flatline static mode. And I think some people will find their ways out of that by default. But for me, I think I had been in such a comfortable state for so long where I didn't feel a sense of urgency to move up. And the consequences of going down weren't immediate enough. So I was kind of just coasting, and that puts you in a very bad mental state unless you can kind of catch it. And you also need to, and this sounds so cliche, so try not to cringe, but you kind of just need to like believe in yourself and embody the character of someone who can make things happen. And then the moment things do happen, you're like, all right, yes, cool. If I can do this, then what else can I do? So I think it is safe to say we are officially back. That is day 19 of these daily uploads. We're gonna keep it ripping, I don't know how long, but I hope you all enjoyed. And to those 10 of you who have watched every single video in this series, y'all are real ones. To the rest of you, hope you got something valuable out of this, and I hope to see you around in the future.